Right, so now the pre-shading's done, and while the video's converting, ready to upload to YouTube, it's time to give the underneath a bit of paint. Now, check your references of where things are going to go, or where the paint's going to go. So obviously we've got the whole of the underneath, the whole of the underneath. Sorry, I am Norfolk. Different places where she's going to get sprayed, but we have one black wing. As you can see, it's basically a rectangular shape which will mask off in a few moments, which goes straight through the middle of everything and the light. So it's no issues to mark off. And the propeller cover, sorry, not very good at technical terms, but the propeller cover is also going to be sprayed green, sky, which is duck egg green basically. And we also have the squadron band, or the band that goes around the back of the tailplane, a spray. Now they do come in decal form. I don't like them. I spray mine. Once I've done the whole area, then I'll come back, mask that up and spray that, but we'll show that later. Anyway, let's get some paint down. So I've got the little spit. I had given this a little shake, but we'll just finish it off. So basically, start off with Mk1a. Now, I like to do mine thin and build the layers up. So I generally put Mk1a up to the bottom of the 2.5mm cup, and then half fill the cup. So that gives you about a mil, say, of thinners and 1.5 mil, or just under 1.5 mil of paint. Basically a 65-45 mix, if you like, or 35 mix rather, to start off with. Rid of the paintbrush, put the lid on the paint just in case. Right, clean the brush out, so I need to check the air pressure. Bring it down to about 10, 15, about 18 psi. And then again, with your bit of card or your bit of paper, just check that the airflow is going to be fine and it's not too runny, so you're going to get spiders. And this is important for later on when we do the camo. As you can see, there's no spider webs. She's pretty clean. We're ready to go. So, 2 specs Davey has to get his other glasses on. Nearly tip it out of the cup, that would have been a laugh. And then we can get some paint down. Now I generally just layer it on. You don't want it to dry rough, so making sure I've got the right wing, which I haven't, because it's this one. So there you go. You can see us raw. I'll be honest with you, make mistakes as well. So there you go. Good, so we can give it a bit more paint. What I do need is just a little piece of towel, just so that I can keep the end of the nozzle clear. Yep, coming out nice. And then here we go again. We'll start again. You'll notice that although it looks like I'm laying a lot down, the post shading will show its way through once she dries. So we just go over it gently so the whole area is covered, and we're just building up the paint. Just we know we're going just up to halfway, so just go just over halfway, and we know we're doing that bit as well, so we can do there and just slowly build the paint up. There's not much on the back here that actually shows. The rear tail planes need spraying, both sides, which is weird, but there you go, because you'd have thought with black everywhere I wouldn't have wanted to do it. So again, just going over to the edges, making sure you've got an even coat. But you'll see that the panel lines are now starting to show. Now as this dries, the pre-shading will come through more. So you need to just keep an eye on it. So you can see what pre-shading is coming through and what isn't. Turn around just to get the back edge of this. The air intake, oil cooler. Although half of that's going to be black. Again, up to the line at the front, so that she's all in there. And this side. Coming to the line. I see the rudder's a little bit off out of place, so we'll do that. Now you can see I squeezed a little bit hard there and she sprayed out. As I said, as she dries, the black will come back at you with a vengeance. So you might need just to blow it over finely again, just so that she lays nice and flat, and you're not worried about that even a colour, because at the end of the day, as I said, this is a Second World War aircraft and she took a battering, especially in the first part of the war, in the Battle of Britain. So this is gonna be a fairly weathered aircraft, and that, if we just put a little bit in here just to make sure we've got it all. On the front, we seem to have got most of it, but you're not going to see a lot from the sides. A bit more on the tail planes, just to blend them in. Now, another method is the post shading, which we won't do on the top here, on the bottom rather, as it's fairly simple. That it's the sun that caused the weathering, so we're not going to weather it up. Nearly forgot the prop, which is on a cocktail stick, and away we go. She's been primed just like the rest. Just gently go around. I always do the edges as well, because at the end of the day we're using hot glue and that's going to melt through that. And there we go, she's done. Right, now I'm relatively happy with that, so we'll get ready to mask up for the next part. Okay, so now we're going to mask up the side of the wings, so we get the effect where we just that's the what we're going to put it. Say looking from the front, the left hand and the side of the wing is dead flat black. So basically we need to mark up where it's going to go. For that I use good old Mk1a tape, different thicknesses, and good old paper towel, because it's the best way to do it and the cheapest. Anyway, first of all, because we've got what I would call a little bit of an awkward area to paint, we come straight up over the wing and forming a line so that you can see that it's down, and there is a correct line across there. Let's just, where are we? Get a knife, pull it up slightly and lay a flat back. I didn't quite have that right, but I have now. Anyway, quick touch job, which is always handy to have paint in the brush, because I ain't quite finished cleaning that out yet, which was a good thing. Anyway, that's on and ready. 3mm again, looking at the back where she joins, and it is directly across this line here. You can just see the panel line going across, and that's where our next join's going to be. So basically right across the middle of the join. Then of course we got the tricky bits, because we have to go over the lumps and bumps, which is all good fun. Now what I tend to do is to lay the tape down, hold it down, checking your references all the time, straight through the middle of the light section, and that is basically your masking. That's your lines, where your lines go. So what we need to do now is to protect all the rest of the paint, and the easiest way to do it is with kitchen towel. Piece in half, quarters. I use, this is a 18mm tape. Rub it across, because we're going on a fresh painted paint. I mean, that's been down about 20 minutes now. What we're going to do is just take some of the stickiness off to help avoid pulling away the paint once we've done it. Once we've finished the job and taken the mask off. Again, making sure we're in the gap, so there is a nice flat line. Billy's chewing his bone, if you can hear him. With the back piece the same, a little piece of tape, you don't want a lot, and go across, so that protects that side, or you mainly protecting this bottom bit you painted duck egg green. So that's all that's about. And then the front, another piece of tape. Again, we're going on a fresh paint, so over your jeans, trousers, whatever. Cut the bit of the towel down a little bit so that it's easy to get rid, or to put on rather. Half over and then across to protect the rest of the airframe. Right, so I'll paint the black in. Now that that's all masked up, I'll put a bit much in there. Take a little out, because we ain't going to need that much paint. In fact, I'll take a lot more out. That's it. Okay, some RXF1. Take it off from around the edge so she don't cause scuff, and mix it up. Right. Wife must have been up here. Compressor was turned off. Let it build up. Okay. So as you can see, we've got a nice even airflow, which is what you're looking for. Okay. Again, now, when you mask something up and you want a nice sharp edge, the paint, you don't want the paint too thin. If you do that, it may creep under the masking. So, angle her up. And then just blow it in. Right along the front. You just want a nice dead black area. Yeah, I appreciated that. It's not going to show, so I'm not worried. I always look at that if I make a mistake like that. It's good practice. Obviously around the wheel wells, watching the masking, making sure you get it all on, up to the edge and around. Nice and easy like that. Pick it up gently and turn her around, because you do want to get into this oil cooler, but again, try and go very gently so you're not flooding it with paint. And then the paint just won't creep underneath the masks, and it'll help all the way along. And basically, a bit more there where I couldn't see. Just keep it looking nice. Now, the speed or the airspeed indicator is also black. So while we've got a bit of black in the paintbrush or airbrush, into the clamp, and give it a spray of black. So that again is nice and covered, but not over. Don't know if you can see that there, but she's nice, lovely and coloured. Right, now we're ready to take off the mask. So just gently peel it off. If your paint is wet, leave your mask longer. Try not to have wet paint, because as I said, you'll lose that nice straight edge we're after. Gently take the masking tape off, and there you have it. There's your black wing. The paper that you or I used for spraying or for masking, I'll lay there, and I'll use that to clean paintbrush up with, or the airbrush up with, sorry. And bit of touching up, but that's basically the underneath all ready to be clear glossed, which we'll come to later on.